Yep.
27.115 on your AM radio dial. Sure, it's where it should be here. There we go. Can we hear it? Come on.
I can hear. How you doing tonight?
Joker, man, how's it going? Hello, Breaker. Wait a minute. Who's that strange voice I hear? Operator Skeeter on the 27115. Wednesday night classic radio roundup. Checking in. Check. Wow. Long time no hear, man. How's it going? Doing good. I figured I had to turn it on since we're getting near the holidays. Well, that shouldn't matter. One way or the other, Classic Radio Roundup is still here. Yes, sir. It's 8 o'clock. Let it begin. Where's my neighbor at? Which one? The one over here in the volcano crater. Oh, well, he's probably still dragging his feet on 160 meters, but he should be here. Yeah, Roger. So what's been happening? I see you working for a different company now, huh? Yeah, I had to get out of the other one. Said I wasn't going to do it no more, but these guys kept knocking at my door. So here I go again. Yeah, well, you know. You're good at what you do, so you're in high demand, I guess. Yeah? Did I tow a car for you at one time? Not for me, no. Okay. I thought maybe I did. Knock on wood, so far, most of my cars get me home. Well, that's a good thing. I'm usually in the big stuff, but I usually tow people's stuff if I have to. Yeah, I saw that write-up with the San Antonio Fire Company there. They found that old truck they used to have years ago. That's going to be a fun project to restore that. Yeah, it's the two young boys at the firehouse. I guess they saw pictures of it at one time in their surfing marketplace, and they saw it. And at the time, they couldn't afford it. The guy wanted like $12,000. But then they got it pretty cheap. Yeah, I mean, it is a few years old and it needs some work, so. Yeah, it should run. It has a little 6-cylinder Chevy. Man, I brought that all the way from Cape May, and it needs a spindle on the front axle. It has a weird roller, they're round roller bearings in it. I never saw them before, but he found them. That's good. I think it's a 6-cylinder, huh? What you got, like a 3 on the tree? I think it's a 3 or 4 speed, but you sit in it, it's like a bread truck. Seat's real high and your feet are dangling, and the stick is about 4 feet long. Oh, it's one of those. Okay. Yeah. Old 250 straight 6 probably. That's a workhorse of an engine. Yeah. I told him if you guys need a hand or tools or whatever, I'll come over and help you, but I'm not gonna live over there. But I hope he gets it running. Yeah, getting it running will probably be the easy part. You know, replacing all the worn seals and rubber parts and tires and stuff like that. That's going to be the expensive stuff. Yeah, I think the firehouse was going to help them out a little bit, but they're going to donate all the original lights and stuff for it the best they can. But I have faith in these two guys here. They'll get it going. What is it? An old emergency vehicle of some sort. Yeah. It's like a 66 or 67 Chevy, like bread truck thing. was their rescue truck.
Cool.
Yeah. I guess they'll get it painted too, you know, back to the original lettering and everything. Yeah, it had all gold leaf. I guess you seen the picture. I guess it was all red at one time, but I told them just wash it up, buff it up, and just drive around like that for a little while. Because the kids own it, the firehouse doesn't own it. Yeah, that's pretty much the thing for that. It's going to be a parade cruiser. Yeah, it should be pretty neat. Yeah, the fire company near where I used to live when I was growing up, they had a truck just like that. Same kind of deal. They had a realistic Mini 23 CB radio in it too. I remember that. Yeah, well, they're supposed to put the radios in there to see how far they get. Yeah, well, they're not using the same kind of radios they used back in that day, that's for sure. Oh, no, they may have even had tube radios in that thing at one time. Yeah, maybe. But, see, that's Montgomery County. That would have been low band 3370. And they don't do that anymore. They're all up on trunked, UHF, digital, all that nonsense now. I thought they were 900 megahertz. Your modulation is probably weak for some reason. You need to crank it up a bit.
Yeah, I gotta put my mouth so I don't have my right double on. But yeah, I got a couple of reviews out of an older Anto. I think I got them out of I want to say maybe like 2000 something, early 2000, or whatever frequency they were on then.
Well, by the 2000s, they had already moved up to UHF. They haven't been on the low band since probably the 90s, early 90s. What are you talking on tonight, Sandbagger? I am running a realistic Navajo Pro. Navajo Pro. I don't have much of a I guess the Ranger 2950 could be a classic by now. Nah, that's still too new. That's a 90s vintage radio. Well, the microphone's a D104. That's classic enough. Oh, there you go. Well, did you get rid of all your classics? The Browning and you had a Tram, right? Tram 27E or something? I had a 23E. No, I never had. That's the only Tram I had. I had the Eagle on earlier, but I wanted to try this guy out for a little bit. So that's the 2950? Yes, sir. Does it sound okay? Yeah, it sounds good. Hello there, Skyrider. Well, you're doing really well wherever you're at now. And if you're going to get closer, I guess you'll get better. Birdsboro. Yeah, you're off the side of my beam even, so you're doing well. Yeah, that's not classic. If it was made after 1984, it's not classic. Well, you can't be classic all the time, I guess. Yeah, I cheated last week, so I had to make up for it this week. careful with the electrolytic capacitors. You know, because of the high voltages and all involved. You know, those need to be carefully replaced. And if if you're powering it up for the first time, a very long time, you got to bring it up really slow on a variac so that the capacitors, can reseat themselves more or less. Yeah, nobody likes a grieving tuner. Yeah. Well, when things are made in China, you gotta expect problems. Gee, that doesn't sound real good. Cold solder joints and all that. That must have been made on a Monday or a Friday. Or maybe during COVID. Yeah, you got the new guy who likes to party hardy on Sunday nights, and he wasn't feeling so good Monday when he made your tuner. Yikes. That's a mess. Yeah, you don't like that kind of stuff. That's scary when things start spitting and sparking like that. No, that's not a good thing. Alrighty then.
Hello, Sandbagger. Hello, Skyrider. Countywide Radio checking in.
About time you got here.
I've been here, just letting you guys carry on.
Oh yeah, did you hear Skeeter?
No, actually I didn't, so, okay. I haven't been here since about 9 after I got in here.
Hello, neighbor.
Yo, Skeeter's in the house.
I had to check in.
Yeah, it's about time. Old Motorhead over there, playing with motors, but not playing with his radios.
Yeah, I know. Everything's got an inch of dust on it over here.
About time you blow the dust off. Good grief, we thought you gave it up.
No, I got them all here. Well, good to hear you on there, Skeeter. Hope all's well on your end. Yes, sir. Doing okay. Yeah, playing dress up with your dogs. I know what that's all about. Yeah, gotta put the little elf suits on. And they'll hate you for it. Well, Ty's not real happy about it, but me, man, he don't care so much. He just likes the attention. Doesn't care what kind of attention, as long as you're giving it to him. Good evening. Hello there, Bite Buster. What's going on? Well, we had a little snow out here. No snow here. Just all rain, which is fine with me. I don't need the snowblower to clear the rain away. Yeah, we got more snow up the mountains. Another 2 or 3 inches on top of the 7 or 8 that we got last week. I think, oh man, I'm gonna have to shovel my way to the front door when I go up there this weekend. Oh man! Was he saying he has to drive up to his cabin and shovel snow? Yeah, he's got it's over 7 inches of snow up there at his lake house. Sucks to have a lake house, doesn't it? Yep. What's that, Bite Buster? I said it sucks to have a lake house. Yeah, well, I would just ignore it until the snow melted. Yeah, it's nice to go up there a couple of times during the winter. Although I don't like it when I go up there and there's 16 or 18 inches of snow and I gotta take the snowblower up with me. It's hard after a while. Yeah, it does. Oh, well, tonight you hear Bite Buster. I hear him really well tonight. I'll hear him good too. I can nudge the antenna up that way a little bit more. That helps. Well, that's good. Maybe my radio's ready to break. Signal is wavering, though, so there's some multipath or something going on, but other than that... Yeah, it's probably raining, snowing. You're actually getting snow up there? You're not that far north. Weird. Yep, got snow. Yeah, you're not that far away. Yeah, it's not even doing anything right now here. No precipitation at all. Yeah, it was like very fine drizzle when I put the dog out about 45 minutes ago, but there's probably still some stuff coming through. Yeah, I was just out a few minutes ago, 12 minutes ago now, I was outside and there's nothing, no rain, no nothing. Not even limerick rain. Nope, not even a limerick rain. The wind's blowing the other direction for that. How much radiation actually comes out of that place? Quite a bit. How much radiation? I hope none. Well, what is it? How much rain? I'm sure something's coming out. There's no radiation coming out of there. No, not from the plant itself. Now those spent fuel rods that are in the pools there, that I don't know about. Them spent fuel rods in the pool make me more nervous than the actual plant itself. Yeah, as long as they're covered or whatever, and, should be alright. Covered in what, lead? Shielded, whatever, I don't think they have them outside in there. Uncovered, that wouldn't work, that wouldn't go over well. No, they got them in a pool, an actual, swimming pool. Yeah, but it's inside the plant, it's not outside. No, it is outside. Really? I never heard that. I know they have a pool in, at least, most plants anyway have it inside the plant. Do a Google Earth overview of the place. You can see them. Ooh. That pool water's got to be boiling. what they do exactly, but yeah, they're invisible pools. I think, well, the rods are in containers, and the containers, whether they're lead lined or whatever, are in the pools. Oh, okay. Well, they're in lead lined containers. Yeah. Yeah, but they're giving off heat. Sure, they're giving off heat, but they keep the pools full too. That's why they build it next to a river. Well, they built it next to the river for the cooling towers to cool the, they make so much energy, you got to be able to cool that stuff back down again, keep the reactor under control. Not only did they draw from the Schuylkill, but they also have a pipeline they draw from the dam Delaware too. Hey, you never know when there's going to be a drought. That's why they have the second source from the Delaware. And that's why there's Lake Galena. I never knew that. Yeah, it was all part of that Point Pleasant pumping station project. How in the world they got a pipeline from the Delaware to there? Well, there's a pipeline from the Delaware, Point Pleasant in Bucks County, Delaware River, all the way to the Limerick Nuke Plant. And the lakes, and, it hops, skips, and it jumps its way down there. Wow, that's crazy. I used to see those big warning speakers all around. If you in a certain radius, they have them all around. They test them. They test them every 6 months, I think it is. And just last Monday they tested them, and I was outside. I heard them go off. They do it every month. First Monday of every month they test it, but only twice a year do they do the full siren. The rest of the time it's like what they call a growler. They just fire it up for a split second and it goes, rrr. Yeah, well, the full test, that's what I'm talking about. Every 6 months, the full test. And I heard it last Monday.
Break a break.
I got one right down the street, bottom of my street, so I hear it real well. I heard it I heard several different ones. There's no one particular one close to me. I heard like 3 or 4 of them. They were all kind of heterodyning together. And I think Joker's breaking in.
Yep. Good evening. Do you live close enough to get the iodine tablets?
Yeah, I can go to the township building for them. They'll give them to me, but I never got them because I figure if I need an iodine tablet, I might as well be dead anyway. It won't be long now. And then we can stop talking about them.
Yeah, that is an interesting theory. Like, here's some iodine tablets for if it's a meltdown.
Yeah, it's already too late. Nothing like closing the barn door after the horse is gone. What I don't understand is why do they wash you off if you're exposed to something that's radioactive? What's the washing doing to you? Because you can remove the radioactive contamination with clean water. Navy ships have built-in water decontamination, water washdown. So you take seawater from below the surface and you spray it up all over the whole ship and it washes off radioactive contamination. I don't know how that works. Well, you take a shower every day, don't you? Yeah, but doesn't it penetrate you? I mean, it's in you now. Well, yeah, you're exposed to what you've been exposed to, but if you don't wash it off, the dosage you're continually exposed. You can reduce your contamination or your exposure by washing it off. Another thing I don't understand is if you can block a radio signal with a Faraday cage. Why can't you do the same thing with radioactivity? Not with a Faraday cage, but if you had a lead box and you went inside, you'd be all right until you ran out of air. But radioactivity is a time-weighted exposure. It's the amount plus the amount of time. It's a two-part thing. So if you're exposed to a little radiation for a long time, that's bad. Or a lot of radiation for a short period of time, that's bad. But if you can reduce one or the other, you're better off. Like an X-ray, eh? Yeah, that's why modern X-rays are better than the X-rays in the 60s and 50s, 60s, and 70s, because they shorten the exposure and the amount of.
Yeah, they can. The newest ones now that don't even use film, they use a much weaker beam, so less exposure.
Yeah, I'm assuming they have some sort of a sensor because I go to the dentist, man, and they give you that protection, but then they do it really quick or whatever, and it's right up on the screen, like instantly.
Yeah, they have a sensor that's a lot more sensitive than the film was, and they can do it right on the, digitally on the screen now.
Yeah, a lot less exposure than it used to be when they were using film. Yeah, they still give you protection, though. Yeah, and you're essentially not being exposed to it except for the localized area. But, they do everything they can just to reduce any exposure anywhere else other than where they want it to go. I guess I just don't understand enough about it, how it is still there. It's there. What's it latching on to? It's just in the air, Well, there's different types of exposure. Well, that's why you can wash it off, though. But if it's in the air, if it's atomized in the air, you're kind of done for. But if you get it on your skin and close exposure, you can wash it off and then get away from the exposure. And if the dose wasn't too high or for too long, you'll be all right. But if the exposure is in great quantities for a long time, you're done for. I remember I had this job where I had to climb ladders a lot and fix the machine up above in a gantry. I fell and I had a extra large black and blue mark instantly on my shin, and I thought that it was broken. So I went to the hospital. They gave me an injection of this radioactive stuff, and the half-life was like a day and a half or something like that. And I asked the guy, I said, so what are you saying, that everything in my body, because it travels through there, and then they put it through a sensor and they can get like an X-ray kind of a thing and see where your blood flows. And anyway, I said to the guy, so what are you telling me, if I'm taking a whiz, that's also radioactive? Yup. You're the first person to ask me that. When my wife was going through thyroid cancer treatment, they radiated her, and she was taking some kind of internal, radiation medicine or whatever. She had to quarantine herself in the bedroom, away from the dogs for like several days. Like nobody could be near her.
Oh no, she's a toxic Avenger.
That was an excuse for me to play radio. But you think about it, so if I can't go near her because she's radiated, how much radiation is she exposed to?
Yeah, I gotta say, usually they give you these little pellets or whatever that are, that they guide in for, specified radiation treatments like that, but I didn't think that they would pose a threat to anybody nearby, but...
That sounds like what my father had for prostate cancer. The wife's treatment was maybe not the same. It was somehow different, but I know, like, for 3 days, I had to stay away from her, and she had to stay away from the dogs for 3 days. So I talked to the guy who was giving me the dose of radiation, he injects it into, and I said, so what kind of training do you actually have to go through? He said, oh, not much. You can do this within a year and be out there, on the job. So they train you how to handle the radioactive stuff and how to give somebody a shot. Yeah, it's like anything else. You got to understand the hazards and how to deal with it. Whenever you're dealing with hazardous material, you just got to, mitigate the hazards and be aware of what they are and how to handle it. Make sure that you wear lead-lined underwear. you don't plan on having kids, don't worry about it. You're fine. Who was the hello? Was there a breaker in there?
Yes, Badger, how you doing?
Good evening, Badger, from your countywide radio on Classic Radio Roundup.
Are you using your new tablet holder?
I am using my new tripod-mounted tablet holder, and there's extremely low risk of me knocking the tablet off of the tripod now.
Yeah, make sure you give proper credit where that came from.
That came from the excavator. Thank you, excavator, because I imagine you're going to be checking out the gate at some point. Thank you for the tripod-mounted tablet holder, and now I'm almost professional.
Wow.
Video gating my Courier Centurion PLL.
Oh, that's right. You're running that tonight. That is sounding good.
Is it sounding good? I was wondering. It looks like I ought to keep the microphone away.
You're good right where you're at. Everything's set perfectly. Good in the hood.
Hello there, Rooster. Yeah, I got the microphone at arm's length away. If I have it too close, it seems like I'm killing it.
Well, you want to keep it at arm's length. That's the whole point.
Well, yeah, that's where I want it. But I got so many different radios at varying distances, and I got to treat them all different. So once I keyed up, like, oh, this microphone's too close. Pushed it off. I'm like, yeah, that looks a lot better. But this thing's got some swing.
I didn't think it was that unusual. It swings like a normal radio.
Well, it's doing it proper. Let's put it that way. I'm dead keying 150, and I am peaking out at 600.
Oh, well, that's exactly what you want. You're swinging from a 6 just over a 7 here.
It's doing what I want it to do. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good-looking radio, too. Nice and clean.
Yeah, it's got good, I looked at it on the scope. It does the full 100%. It's not short at all on positive peaks.
Yeah, no, it looks good on my watt meter going out, that's for sure.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Questions are reserved for the question and answer section.
Okay. I've got a S5 noise floor. It's like a real high whine. I'm looking at like scale right now. It starts about 20 kcs below this, and it goes up to about 20 kcs above where we're at too. It's a real high whining, pitchy noise.
You know, I hear that too. Or maybe not as, I don't hear it as strong as you do, but I was kind of ignoring it, but I hear it, it's like a ding.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, I hear it.
I wonder if that's the same kind of thing as my so-called jammer. My neighbor has a device, and I think it's medical in nature, and it's centered on 27.120, which is the ISM center frequency. And the thing's like a megahertz wide, and but it gives me like 30 over when it's on. But he turns it on and he uses it for exactly a half an hour, and then it shuts off again. And I don't know if it's some kind of therapeutic device for muscles, or I don't know what it is. I wonder if there's more of these devices around.
I know what it is.
I don't think it's FCC compliant.
I know what it is.
Oh, whoa, Lightbuster, enlighten us. What is it?
Those rods in the pool.
It's a what?
The rods in the Limerick pool.
No, it's not.
I never heard it before, but I'm hearing it tonight, and I was just ignoring it because it's not that strong. I did think to myself, what is that noise that I'm hearing tonight? And Badger's hearing the same thing. I think we're hearing the same thing. It's just not as strong to me as it is to him, but I hear it.
Yeah, well, it definitely doesn't seem to be Part 15 compliant, because Olaf can hear it when mine's on. My neighbor's is on, and he's 2 miles away from it.
Can you use those rods in that pool for floaties?
Just switch over to the beam for a second. Unfortunately, my beam is pointing northwest, and I can't do anything about that. But the beam came back and said there's absolutely no noise coming from the northwest, and so it's definitely a directional noise.
And it sort of has a little bit of it's not quite a steady tone. It has sort of a to it.
Yeah, that's what I hear as well.
Yeah, it's very wide. It's the same kind of device that I'm dealing with. Well, y'all will all hear it on the video gate when I hear. It's not strong. It's, I don't know, probably an S unit or less, but it's there. It's,
yeah, I'm just wondering whether or not any of the filters on this radio can knock that down a little bit, or should I shift my receive and my notch or whatever?
if it's on frequency or the noise is onto your frequency, not a whole lot you can do about that.
10-4. All right, you guys have yourself a good night. I'm gonna be on the side, and I did get the opportunity to check in on the rooster net this morning, so I was happy about that. Down on 3990. So, but I've got plans of adding a fourth wire to my Cobra Ultralight Junior that typically has 3 at 33 feet apiece. And so when I add that fourth wire to each end of this doublet, I'm hoping I can start meeting up with you guys down on 160.
Oh, yeah, well, good luck with that. Be glad to have more people with us on 160. Although we didn't get on there tonight, there was too much noise. I mean, it was S9 static on there tonight. It was terrible.
Yeah, the first part of that was a double.
Where's that? I said good evening, Badger.
Who's that?
Friendly neighborhood tow truck driver.
Hey, friendly neighborhood who?
Yeah, tow truck driver.
Peter?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Man, I haven't heard you in a while, man. It's good hearing you again. I watched a bunch of stuff on the internet about you working on Deuces Wild and popping a new engine in. How's that thing working for you?
Oh, yeah, it does pretty good. I got a different one out there, too, now.
Yeah, but you're not working down in Spring City anymore, are you?
No, I'm over here at the Swamp in 663.
Yeah, 10-4. Yeah, I knew you moved. I didn't know where to, but I knew you moved. Well, that's all right. I'm happy. I'm very happy to hear you. So, you know what, Skeeter? Let me say this one thing straight up. From my house to yours, and my wife and me to you and yours. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Well, thanks there, Badger. Right back to you. And Happy New Year on top of that. Scooter, are you at that building with no roof across from the Wawa up there? Yeah, the one in the back there? Yeah, the building with no roof. Yeah. Yeah, I seen that started to be some activity there as of late, and I seen the big giant tow trucks and all. I kind of, it was in the back of my head. I wonder if that's like Skeeter is there. You are. 9 times out of 10, I'm in the big red one. Next time I see the big red one and I'm going by, I'll hit the horn. Yeah, Roger.
Hey, Skeeter.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just FYI, I retired from truck driving back in March. So I'm still driving now, but I'm delivering auto parts out of a little store in Phoenixville.
Oh, really? No, we move a lot of their trucks, and I actually came across a guy or two that knew you.
Yep. Yeah, back in March, well, actually, back in last August, I got a letter from Social Security that I had enough credit to retire. So I'm like, you know what? With the way the trucking industry is, and the way that everybody's idiots, you know, everybody's wearing sweatpants and slippers driving down the road in a big truck. I'm like, you know what? I've had enough of this crap. I'm out of here.
I don't blame you. I would probably do the same thing, but I like Man, you meet some real crackers out there.
Heaven forbid, wearing sweatpants while driving a truck? That's almost as bad as wearing sweatpants to the sweatpants mall.
Well, they get out wearing flip-flops.
Yeah, they had a truck that stuck under the bridge over at the, Hollings Road or something like that. That bridge height is only like 10'8", and some guy tried to stuff a full-size trailer under there. Yeah, math isn't their strong suit, I guess.
He hit that thing about 40 miles an hour. A couple friends of mine towed that out of there.
I bet it damaged the bridge, too.
They really should put signs on bridges.
Alright, enough about this truck driving stuff. Peter, love hearing you in there, man. We need to get together sometime and go out for a drink or have breakfast or whatever, so 73rd to you and yours from me and mine, and happy holidays. Bye-bye.
I'll see you, Badger.
Good night, Badger. Good to hear you on the Classic Radio Roundup. See you, Doug, man. Have a good one. Sandbagging. The better half's in here, and we're spending time together listening to you guys yik-yak back and forth.
Have a good one, man.
Yeah, Doug, have a good one. We'll, hope to hear you next week, or any time in between. Time for a welfare check. Where's Wayne? He's really beating Batman right now.
Hey, Wayne, how you doing?
All right. Being okay. Gonna get my van running soon. How you doing, Wayne?
I was going to knock on the door and see if you wanted to get rid of it.
No, I don't want to get rid of it. I put about $2,500 into it before I parked it there, where it's parked right now. Now it just won't run. Hey, Wayne, this Badger just waved my hand in the air at you. Hello, Badger. Well, I'm glad you're there to wave your hand at us, Wayne. Good to hear you on. Yeah, except now Skeeter gives me the strongest signal out of everybody. Yeah, he's also the closest one to you.
You're pretty close, too.
Not as close as you are.
Wayne's got the ultimate spot, though. He's on top of the hill.
Yeah, with nothing in his way right around, all around.
I can hear him.
Yeah, it'd be nice if I could get my antenna up another 20 feet, though. You hear Wayne, Bite Buster?
Yes, I do.
Wayne, I don't think Wayne hears you, though, because he's got a noise level, but Wayne, you're making it up to Bite Buster. Oh, that's excellent. No, I don't hear him at all. I can hear him on sideband on Sunday nights, but on AM, I got too much noise level, and I'm not turning my heaters off tonight. I don't blame you.
Antenna, that's it.
Yeah, tonight you need the heaters. Not as bad as you did, 2 nights ago, though. That's all right. They got them running, and I got a supplemental little, what do you call it? A little space heater going, too.
It must be 100 degrees in there.
No, it's actually 76 degrees.
That's too hot for my house.
It's almost as warm as it is here in my radio room at 80. He's got that wood stove going. It's probably 80 in his basement. It is 80, and I do have the wood stove going, and it's going to continue to go as long as I got wood. Oh, I got a question for the group.
Did he say got wood?
That's what she said last night. I've got a question for the group. Uh-oh. Fire away. Hey, Pete, is it hard to do one of those Classic Radio Roundup videos, or can we do it from time to time with different radio operators? Because I mean, I'm sitting here playing radio with you guys, and I could do a video and upload it onto the Classic Radio Roundup. Anybody could do a video gate. It don't matter. I just do it every week and upload it to my account. Now, if you wanted your video uploaded to my account, I think you'd have to send it to me and have me upload it. I don't think you can upload it to my account unless they give you my password and junk, but I don't know. Anybody's free to do a video gate.
Didn't Dr. Hammer used to do it that way?
That'd be a lot of fun, you know, throw it around to some people if they can send the videos here, you know, to you. That way you can put it up on the video gate. That'd be a lot of fun.
I got one rolling tonight.
I don't think Doc Hammer did video gates, but he did access my radio through the internet and operate here.
Whoops, that was my fault. I got one running tonight.
I don't know, it was just an idea. I thought, you know, it was fun for us to try to do.
Yo, I was just saying, I got one running tonight. Should be uploaded this week.
Yeah, Joker runs gates and he uploads them from his perspective, but they're not on my account.
And he does not have squeaky chairs.
I just wanted to jump in there and say that. Maybe we can start working on something like that later on. Well, maybe if enough people complain about my squeaky chair, maybe Excavator or someone else, you know, I'll go out one day and there'll be a new chair from Amazon on the front porch.
Nah, more likely just a can of WD-40.
There it is. I was going to say. That's right. If it squeaks, it needs WD-40. If it moves more than you want, you need to use duct tape. Yeah, now, see, I've got conflicting opinions on the squeaky chair. Some people say leave it be, and other people say you need a new chair. So, I don't know. I think the squeaky chair is a signature move, so I don't think I'm ready to get rid of the squeaky chair. It is kind of comfortable. Well, I think what you do is great, because I love watching those little videos, but I just figured I'd throw my 2 cents in, so 73rd and happy holidays to all. I'm Doc Sandbagging. Well, now I'm almost a professional since my tablet won't fall off the tripod anymore.
All you need now is a chair that doesn't squeak.
I don't think that's a requirement.
You need a clock in the background, too.
Well, you're in luck tonight there, Bite Buster, because the Courier Centurion TLL that I'm using has a functional, old-school, analog digital clock rolling right away in the screen.
The time is now 8:48.
Is it accurate?
I'm showing 8:48:35, 40, 42:5, 45, 8:48 and 45 seconds, and continuing to roll. And I forget where it is, but I think it's at 010. It says Japan.
Oh.
There it is. There's the Japan. Right there is 0. Just past the 0 on the seconds, it says Japan.
We'll have to look at the video then.
And the clock does keep time rather well. I can thank the Sandbagger for squaring this radio away for me. Woohoo!
That thing really does sound good. It sounds better over at your place than it did from mine.
Well, I don't know. I thought it sounded pretty good to your place coming in when I was hearing it here.
I mean, I listened to the video gate, and it's like, it sounded good. It sounded typical of what I normally sound like, I guess, but, you know, you sound louder on it for some reason.
Well, because I'm driving my 2-peel into my 8-peel.
Yeah, that might have something to do with it. I don't know.
And I'm loafing along at 150 carrier.
Yeah, I kind of loaf too, you know. This thing's only doing about half of what it probably could.
Yeah, that's about where I am at. Half of what I could. Well, I don't know. I didn't change the mic gain or none of that. You know, nothing like that. Everything's just the way you left it.
So the mic is set the way I had it.
Yeah, I didn't change nothing.
On the other hand, I don't think I used that mic when I was on last week. I was using my Silver Eagle. But, yeah, that mic's every bit as good as that now.
Well, since you replaced the dead electrolytic in it, now this microphone's working like it should.
Yep. Damn electrolytics, man. Gets you every time.
Do appreciate that too, because I needed a good microphone. This particular one with the phono jack for this radio. It's only this one and the other one that used the phono jack, and then the Utica uses the phono jack too. But that's I use the LMAC mic on that because it's wired different.
Yeah, it's got the tip and the ring reversed. That's the only two ways you can do it.
That's right. But yeah, I got four radios, and two are alike, and the other two are alike with the phono jack.
Another thing I don't understand is electrolytic. Where do they dig that stuff up? Or they don't?
Where do they dig it up? What do you mean by digging it up? It's an electrolyte. They make a solution to put in between the plates.
Yeah, but it's like a gel.
Well, it depends on who makes it, when they made it, and their own formula. They're all doing a little different. And the style and the age and all that.
So it's nothing natural?
I don't think so. I think it's just, a formula, a solution. A recipe.
Strange. I mean, think of all the research that went into that,
Stay away from the Chinesian ones, because their solution sucks.
Yeah, it's becoming increasingly hard to do because it seems like everything's made in China. Even crappy electrical parts. Even name brand parts that you used to trust, but now, they're making Chinese knockoffs of it. That's because the lead that they're using for those rods they're shipping over there for solder.
Yeah, plutonium-based solder. That could get interesting.
Yeah, you wonder why your fingers glow in the dark. They have enough people to replace their workers. Never-ending supply. Hey, did you see or hear about Australia limiting internet access, I guess, to social media for kids under 16?
Yep, I heard about that. But that's Australia. That's not here.
How they're going to be able to implement that?
Yeah, you can make it a law, but that's just going to make kids do it more. Whenever you make something illegal for kids, they'll find a way to do it. Didn't stop me from drinking.
Yeah, but that's here.
That's anywhere. Whenever you make something forbidden for teenagers, they're gonna be more inclined to do it. If it's not cool or easy access, they won't care. But when you forbid something, they're absolutely gonna do it.
Yeah, because then it becomes a challenge. Yeah, I just wondered how they were going to enforce it, because there's always that kind of a catfishing kind of thing where, I'm not 16, I'm 85.
Yeah, I don't see it enforceable, and I got mixed emotions about that if they try that here. I mean, that to me, I'm really against any government regulation on just about anything. And especially something like that's up to the parents. Like, if you got crappy parents, well, then that's their problem. But you got good parents, they should be able to take care of it themselves. So that's all parenting. That's really, in my opinion, not the government's place.
Yeah, back in the day, I ran a software called NetNanny, and you just choose whatever sites the kids can go to and what they couldn't go to.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a way around that, too.
Yeah, but the kids weren't smart enough to deal with it. There's always a kid smart enough to deal with it. Well, my kids weren't. At least as far as I know, I can look at the logs. Yeah, maybe not your kids, but they had got friends, and one of their friends, some computer hacker, and they found their way around it, and could fool the parental logging. So, none of that stuff is foolproof. Yeah, I know. They would come up with these hacks for the video games. They're playing like a PlayStation game. Oh, yeah, press this button 15 times, and then while holding that one down, and then you get extra lives, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's a lot of things I think the government needs to stay the hell out of that they're involved in. I don't like regulation by government. Well, everybody wants smaller government. No, not everybody. There's at least 49% of the population wants more government. More handouts, more freebies, more nanny state, more care, and tell everybody else, no. And take care of me, and, I'll give up my rights for security. Well, that's not, at least half of us. I know, I thought it was funny when they were saying about, the news always has something bad to say about Trump, and they're like, yes, 56% of the people are against what or they feel that he's not doing a good job. And I'm thinking, yeah, ask them who they are. Democrats. Yeah, well, more than that, put him in place to where he is now. So, I think less people hate him than the media portrays. But what really cracks me up is how they say, he's cognitive decline, and he's getting old, and he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm like, all you people that ignored Biden the last 4 years as he was falling apart, making that assessment, I don't trust your judgment, because you missed that, so shut up. Yeah, that reeks of hypocrisy right there. Absolutely it does. Hey, what do you make of the oil ship, or the oil tanker getting seized? What do you make of that? I'll probably get 1.1 billion or something gallons of free oil, I guess. I only know it happened. I don't know the circumstances around it. Was it transporting drugs or what? No, it was illegal sanctioned oil from Venezuela. So Venezuela is under sanctions? They can't export or what? Yeah, they're not allowed to sell oil to certain countries or something, and you know how these geopolitical things go. Oh, well, then it was fair game. Allegedly. Of course, I'm sure the Democrats will find fault with it. Well, the Democrats, I love it, for Trump saying, for my next trick, watch me make the Democrats support drug cartels. And they're doing it. How about that? A bunch of idiots. If he found a cure for cancer, they we want everybody to have cancer. What that's they just have to have another thing. First it was, release the files, Epstein files. They do it, you don't hear a peep. And then, now it's, release the video. Yeah, well, that whole Epstein files was a nothing burger anyway. It really was, as far as, what they thought, anyhow. I mean, I'm not saying it's a nothing burger for the victims and whatnot, but as far as, implicating Trump in anything, it was a nothing burger. Well, that's what they were trying to do, that's exactly what they were trying to do, but then went nowhere. But they make a big thing about nothing. And you know what? Those guys they decided to run drugs. What do you think was going to happen to them after seeing in the news? I'm sure they have televisions and radios where they came from, knowing that their buddies were just blown up last week. Well, as far as the Epstein thing goes, if there was a affair there, Biden's administration would have released it then. So if Biden sat on it and he didn't release it, but then Trump gets in office, and now all of a sudden it's important, I knew there was a nothing burger, because if there was something there, you would absolutely tell me that the Biden administration wouldn't have released it if there was something there. Get the hell out of here.
Yep. But I'm curious as to what they're going to say tomorrow. You know, oh, it's against the law. What law? We're making the laws here.
Well, international law is a lot different than domestic law when it comes to trafficking illegal substances and such. There's some latitude there. These people aren't entitled to constitutional protections.
Yeah, and who's making these international laws anyway? Who?
The Hague. The UN and the Hague, it's all agreed upon in international treaty.
And Venezuela signed this stuff?
It doesn't matter. As long as the majority says what you're doing is illegal, and you say, well, I don't think it's illegal, and I'm doing what I want in international waters. Well, sorry, pal, the majority says what you're doing is illegal.
All they have to do is have a reason, and like you said, the things that were sanctioned, and that's it. It's done.
Yeah, that stuff's all agreed upon in international treaties. And then, to put a little more ammo in Trump's pocket, he's designated all these people as narco-terrorists. So you're a terrorist organization, that's a whole nother thing.
I think the taxi's gone off road here.
Oh, man!
I agree. I thought I was on the wrong channel. Good evening, y'all.
Oh, it happens. You know it happens. Countywide. Hello, JR.
Radio. I think we are all on channel 60 yet. Nah, some people don't have an IQ high enough to even think about politics.
Right. They wouldn't be able to have this kind of high level discussion that they can't do that there.
No, they're too busy getting down and getting out and getting up and reading the mail and scratching their backs.
Waving hands. It's all canned responses there. That's all that is.
Yep.
There's no actual discussion of any kind.
1111.
99999. What's going on, JR? Change the subject.
I was just thinking how close you are to the C word.
Oh, I'm still another drink away from cantankerousness.
Oh, I thought he was going to say communist. No, I wouldn't say communist by no means, but just sitting here chuckling,
Now, everybody on here probably is pretty much could agree that I'm as far from a communist as you can get.
Hey, break. I need some seafaring people. I have a question. Go ahead there, Mr. Skyrider. Good evening. Good evening, OJR. Hey, where is Cape Verde? Cape Verde, where is that? It's in the water.
I know the name. I can't think of it, but I'll Google it for you.
Cape Verde Islands? I think something like that. I know it's in the water, but I can't place it. Is it on the coast of Africa, South America, or what? I even got one of them QSOs. What was the question? I missed the question. Yeah, find it. It's up on the wall. I'll have to find it.
It's in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of West Africa. 10 volcanic islands with 44,000 square kilometers. So it's off the west coast of Africa. Yeah.
Roger that. Yeah, I thought where it was. It sounded much more important than that.
Yeah, it's basically just about on the equator. What is that country? It's southwest of Morocco.
Okay, roger that. Yeah, I think it's part of Portugal or the territory of Portugal.
Well, its motto is in Portuguese. Government, Prime Minister, independent. It's independent, but it gained its independence from Portugal. So it used to belong to Portugal, but now it's independent.
All right, roger that. So, yeah, I knew something like that.
What country is this?
Mobile contact?
Fightbuster, Cape Verde, V-E-R-D-E, Cape Verde.
Please, what is good? All 10 meter stuff. That's pretty cool. Good deal. That's a nice little shot. Not Australia. Sorry about that. Good comment.
Yeah, propagation-wise, it shouldn't be a hard place, but activity-wise, that's what makes it hard.
Yeah, roger that.
Got a breaker. Yeah, top of the evening. Welcome to Classic Radio Roundup. Who that? Oh, Blue Knight Honeybrook. Been a while. Good to hear you on. Sounding good out this way. 441 to Spitfire on the Classic Radio Roundup.
Hello, Blue Knight. Old JR just waving a hand. Good to hear you. It's been a while. Oh, man, you better believe it. I'm just about all done now. I got all this extra time. I can get it by the horns there. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Got to go up in the mountains and see some of my relatives up there, so that's going to be nice to see them. I only get up there once a year, you know. Up there in Millville, around Danville, or, Bloomsburg. About 20 miles above Bloomsburg. I hope you got a good deal on it. Up there, it might be a little cheaper, maybe. Nice. Hey, okay there, Blue Knight. Listen, I'm going to let you go, my friend, because they got their thing going on there. Classic Radio Roundup, so I'm not going to hold them up. But good to hear you in there. I hear Train, I'll tell him I have an ear on you. Take care. 73.
How about a break 1-3?
Go ahead there, break 1-3.
Roger. Thanks for the break. It's Kilowatt out here. How you guys doing? Hear you out there, Spitfire, JR?
Good evening there, Kilowatt. Hello, and hello.
Good evening, Kilowatt, from your countywide radio. Roger. How's everybody doing? I'm doing great. I'm in here, I'm warm, and I'm playing radio on Classic Radio Wednesday. There you go. Everybody got your shopping done. I didn't start it, and I'm completely finished. So it was a non-starter. It's easy around here. Oh yeah, I like that. One purchase, buy the family a trip, and that's it. No, I just the wife buys what she wants all year, and I buy what I want all year, and call it good. Amen. Like that.
That's not a true statement either.
Stop. Don't get started. I know where JR's going. He's just poking, and just drop it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it.
Don't poke the bear. All right. Well, Merry Christmas.
And that Henry is gone, but I found another Henry for a little bit more, and has a pair of 3500s in it. Oh, God. The 2K Classic.
Uh-oh. That sounds like a purchase going, come on. No, you know what? You snooze, you lose. That's what happened to the other one.
Yeah, I know. There's 2K Classic out there. I just keep my eyes open. The right one will come along at the right time.
Comment. Go ahead.
Hey guys, I gotta pull the plug here, so 73rd, everybody on Classic Radio Roundup, and it's been a pleasure. So my wife Anna and I enjoy listening to you guys, but we're gonna call it quits. So 73rd and happy holidays to everyone from our house to yours. So you guys have a good night, and this is Badger. I'm back quiet.
So we're not bad here. We'd like to, I think I will send Sarah as well, go let us just pop in. So you'll have a good holiday. We'll talk to you soon.
Catch you later, Doug. Good night, Doug. Kilowatt. Merry Christmas to you and yours all the way around. Hopefully we'll hear you before the new year and all that jazz. Countywide.
Catch you later, Doug. Kilowatt. See you later. Take care. Oh, JR.
What do you think of this radio, JR?
You're about the loudest one I hear on here thus far.
Roger. 10-4.
If I can get my buddy Dave to key up down yonder there, you know.
I'm not actually trying to be loud. That's just the way the thing wound up being. So I'm not gonna reduce it.
Oh, I don't want you to reduce it. You sound like a sea beer now.
So that was the whole intention. The 1970s, 1980s CB radio sound, like Sandbagger always sounds, like 99% of the time.
What are you running tonight there, Bagger?
At the moment, I am running a realistic Navajo Pro TRC 40.
Navajo Pro. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool radio. Yeah, it's an old 1971, 72 vintage.
Alright, sounds good. Yeah, Pete, that thing's, it's kicking its heels. You'd be happy with it. Matter of fact, I can actually make you a good video. I finally figured out how to do all that crap.
I didn't think there was anything to it. I mean, when it comes to that stuff, I'm an idiot and I can make it work, so I don't know what the problem is, but alright. Yeah, 1977 Courier Centurion PLL 40-channel sideband base station with a clock. Analog 40-channel dial.
Yeah, but your videos you send me is not the quality I like shipping out to people, so. But anyway, let me clean up here and then I'll go do the deed.
We talking non-professional again?
He's a sloper, boy. He sends you stuff that looks like it came through on the sled of Santa Claus on a foggy night.
I think that's something to do with the translation and the internet through the cell lines or something, because some people wind up with a better quality than others. And I've heard that reported before. That happens to me, that people will send me stuff and it comes through all low quality, but that's not how they took it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Certain applications like Faceplant will automatically chop the crap out of your videos and lower the quality to conserve bandwidth.
Yeah, but Dave, these are videos taken on my iPhone and then texted directly over there to him.
Yeah, well, the same thing could be going on with your ISP or his ISP or whatever. They chop it down to conserve, file size.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that kind of thing before, where it's even happened with my wife, where she'll send me a video, and I'm like, what kind of rinky-dink pixelated garbage is this? and then I'll look at the original video, and that's not how it was.
Yeah, what happens is sometimes mine was, I'll say this about mine. Mine would tell me if I ship like a 49 meg video, ship it to somebody, so the file's too big. So you got to convert it to MMS. You convert it there, and that's when it gets all crappy. You know, it's not that way when you send it, but whoever's getting it, it's all crappy. So I bypassed all that, did away with that. Now you'll get the full 49 meg file or whatever it is. It don't matter no more.
Yeah, see, I never run into that issue except for when I'm sending stuff to Train. When I send stuff to Train, I get limited in file size. But he's the only one that ever happens to. I could send you any size file. 5.7, I could send him any size file. I send Sandbagger files and whoever. I never get that flag that I get when I send to Train.
Yeah, I think he don't have the best internet service. That's all I can say about that. Yeah, that he don't.
Yeah, and that man, let's face it, he don't cheap out on anything. But he's got freaking ghetto cell service.
Yeah, he explained that before, that basically was just for the kids, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. But you figured if he would get off the Wi-Fi and just use his phone data. But I don't know again, I don't know what he has.
What kind of phone is it? If he's not Apple, if he's just whatchamacallit, it may not work as well. Well, he's not an Apple, I know that. But whether he's Android or Galaxy, I don't know. But I know he's not Apple, because his texts are a different color than the Apple people text. Yeah, that's part of the problem.
Apple people text? Boy, say that 10 times.
Apple people text, Apple people text, Apple people text, Apple people text. Oh, I guess I'm not too cantankerous just yet. Maybe I need to go get another drink.
I'll give you 10 more minutes.
Apple people text. How about anti-Apple people?
Don't want to go anti.
All right, well, I just wanted to get the evaluation on this transmitter from a third party, so I got what I needed. Whether I already heard the radio coming the other end. Just wanted to see what a third party thought of it on this end.
Sounds good. You'd be happy with it, that's for sure. Man, this thing's throwing all kinds of audio out there. Well, I guess I gotta calibrate my Maj meter. Okay, yeah, no, it sounds good.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, this is a good radio. This one's a keeper. Yeah, just hope it stays good. Yeah, keep my fingers crossed. As long as it stays good, I'm good. Yeah, the price was right.
You know what, Pete?
No, I don't.
I'm gonna tell you. You know that that gizmo you had there that you could hook up to your radio or CD or whatever, transmit on 2 meters. What do they call that again? What's that gizmo you got?
The transverter? Is that what you're talking about?
That's right. You got to get your transverter for 160. See, you do that, and you're right in the audio field you want to be.
Well, that thing does 2 meters to 10 through 80. So it doesn't do 11 meters to 160. But I bet if I was smart enough, I could probably build one, a 11 meter to 160 transverter. That would be cool.
I think so. I think that would be neat. You'd be the only guy. If they ask, what radio you on? You give that fancy name you just gave there, they'd be scratching their head.
That would be wild. But I'll bet either one of the Daves is smart enough to pull something like that off. I'll pay you to build me an 11 to 160 converter, Dave. Oh, man. That would be a hell of a project. Especially trying to get it to put out any kind of meaningful power. Well, you just use the radio as the IF, and then the transverter is the PA. I know, that's what I'm saying. Trying to get it to put out any meaningful power. I've got special mixer ICs that would do the down convert without a problem. just need the proper frequency to down convert it, to mix it into this. But then once you got the output, then you got to buffer it and amplify it, and you try to get it to put out serious power. And then of course, then you got the other problem, or reverse problem, is getting the other side to work for receive. That's probably more complicated.
Yeah, that probably is more complicated, but I think the transmit, once it's converted and buffered and amplified, then you just have more amplifier stages. I guess the receive conversion is probably a little more complex.
Yeah, because you want to keep good sensitivity. But, the transmit, of course, if you had a separate receiver and you only needed it to go one way, that would simplify things.
Well, that would include, you would have to do some TR switching and, keying switching and all that, so it may simplify it in one way, but make the other way complex.
Might be something to play in a sandbox with this to see what happens, but, might be able to get it to do like 5 watts output, but then you'd have to amplify it with something.
Be kind of cool, though. It actually would be kind of cool. It's a shame that my transverter I already have doesn't do 160. Because then I can put my 2-meter rig on 160, but it only goes down to 80.
Yeah, you would have to add a whole other stage with the proper tuned circuits and everything, and that's not going to be something you want to do.
No, but if you look at it as a single band transverter, that's certainly got to be easier than a multi-band one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. And you'll have to have multiple sets of tuned circuits.
I don't think I ever heard anybody transverting, to 160. I mean, that HF transverter that I have is already kind of a rare thing to begin with. I mean, when I use that, nobody knows what the hell. What are you doing?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's usually not the way people work, Guys that love 160 tend to be old broadcast radio guys or AM aficionados or whatever, and they grab old commercial wood gear from the AM broadcast and stick them up on 160, or get old tube Vikings and stuff like that, they're not going from, I want to take my 2-meter rig and transfer it down to 160.
That transverter seemed to be popular in Japan because of their license structure. And I think their initial class was like, low power VHF, like our technician used to be. And then their next level up was you could get on HF, but you were also restricted in power. So like 2 meters was really, really big in Japan, because you could cover practically the whole country on 2-meter sideband. So everybody had 2-meter sideband rigs, and once they upgraded to HF, adding that transverter on just made it easy. But that was, I think that's just sort of isolated in the way Japan worked.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. It had a bigger following in Japan than it would here.
Yeah, and that's where that thing came from. I mean, you saw the manual, it's all in Japanese.
Yeah, and I don't read Japanese very well.
No, but the schematic is still readable.
Yeah, you can read the pictures.
And then I do have a translation for the manual. The guy I got it off of, I guess, spoke Japanese, and he translated it. So I have an English manual to go along with it.
You could probably scan it with your phone and throw it in the Google Translate or something.
Yeah, certainly could now. Not when I bought the thing.
No, you've had that for what, 20, 30 years?
I think I had it since Lansdale, so before here, so over 25 years.
Yeah, that's a rare piece, you want to hold on to that.
Yeah, that's too cool to get rid of. But I need my TS700A squared away because it's kind of sounding bad on transmit.
Uh-oh, I sense another...
Put them on the list.
I love the TS700. That was radio with that transverter. And then with that transverter and my external VFO, I can put it here on 11. I've already done that.
Yeah, that's crazy. But boy, yeah, you can do it.
I did it more to prove that I could than to actual use it, you know? Once I figured out that I could and used it for a little bit, all right, moving on to the next thing. I just wanted to see if I could do it.
Yeah, that TS700 just basically needs a good alignment. The carrier oscillators are out of whack and, you know, a few other things.
Yeah, I think you're right, and it's a little bit beyond my capabilities, but yeah, that thing could use probably a really good alignment and probably be fine again, and I don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah, I know. I did this. I fixed Gene's up. He had a problem with his. Something blew in there, and I fixed that. Gave that a good alignment. He loves his 700.
It really does make a good HF radio with that transverter, though. I mean, the sensitivity is out of this world. It's really good.
That was a good 2-meter sideband radio. You know, I remember when they first came out back in the 70s. It was like, oh my God, what I wouldn't give for something like that. I ended up getting one in the 80s. I picked it up from a guy for $200, and that was a good price back then because they were still kind of current, or just, you know, just out of production, but they were still very viable.
And they do look like an HF radio should look, you know, an older school HF radio. I mean, it looks just like one, so being able to use it on HF is kind of cool.
Yeah, it did have that look about it, you know. Looked just like just a little smaller HF radio.
And it's the perfect drive for that transverter, too. I mean, it's a perfect match.
Yeah, 10 watts is kind of weak by today's standards, but works great with the transverter.
Yeah, the transverter wants to seek 10 watts, and it'll give you 40 to 50 watts out.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to go that high, but, you know, somehow it magically started working a little better.
Well, it's the manual says 40 watts, but after you got done playing with it and peeking and tweaking it or whatever, it does 50 watts.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
Anyway, the difference between 40 and 50 is really neither here nor there, but the fact that it does that, you know, it's only 3 dB down from 100 watts, so it's still a viable radio.
Oh, yeah. Good, worked good, man.
Just wish it did 160.
Yeah, but like going back to what you said before, I don't know if does Japan have privileges for 160?
Yeah, I don't know. I imagine they do, but I don't know for certain.
It may not be for technicians or whatever.
Yeah, I used to use that thing a lot until my, you know, 700As started getting a little flaky. But yeah, I think it's what you said, the carrier oscillators are off or whatever, and it just doesn't sound good. Still works, receives fine and all, but starting to sound a little on transmit.
Yeah, it was very bassy or boofy. You couldn't get enough treble in it. Just, yeah, carrier oscillators just way off.
And it has the AM mode in it, so it's good for 40 and 80 with that transverter on AM if it would sound good.
Yeah, but the problem with the AM in that radio is on the receive side. It really doesn't do, pure AM. It's like the sideband, and you're still like zero beating against the carrier or whatever. It's not a real true honest AM, and it's going through that narrow 3 kilohertz filter, so it sounds kind of muddy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, on the receive side on AM, it's kind of doo-doo because it's all narrow and sounds like crap, and you basically got to off-tune a little bit to make it sound good. But yeah, so I wouldn't even really use it on AM anyway. But it is a good sidebander. Really works well on sideband.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know how to set that up right on AM. You know, they would have the AM carrier adjustment
under the little trap door there. They turn it up all the way and say, yeah, it's putting out 10 watts on AM just like it does on sideband or FM. But you can't do that. You gotta. that's your PEP power. So you need to back it down to like 3 watts.
Yeah, I did use it on AM some, and I had to have it at like 1.5 or 2 watts. Otherwise, you ran out of audio headroom.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, people didn't understand that. And they thought, oh, I could just run it just like a... No.
Yeah, no, it's like any other AM, you know. There's your peak power and your carrier power, and you got to have enough to do both.
Yeah, if it, you know, does 10 watts out on FM, then you got to divide it by 4, and that's what you want to set it at for AM, for carrier power.
Yeah, basically 2 watts, then we're at 2.5.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, when I was doing that, I knew enough that's, you know, I knew enough that that's what I had to do.
I just love those old radios, though. Still has all discrete components in it, all transistors you can pretty much still find. You know, it's just a nice radio to work on.
Yeah, well, maybe that one will be the next one in the queue, just because I haven't used the transverter because that radio is, But if the radio was working well, I'd probably start using it again.
Yeah, I think I've got the service manual for that. I'll have to dig around. I know I have one manual. I think I got the service manual for it because I had it when I had mine.
Well, how much different is the 700S with the digital display? Because I have the service manual for that.
Well, the only real difference probably is the display part.
Well, I have the service manual for the 700S.
That would be helpful probably if I don't have the 700A.
Well, I know I've used the 700S service manual for certain things to figure out, and they were the same.
Yeah, that's what I say. I think the front end, you know, the VFO and the display circuits are the only thing different. I think the transmit and receive strips and all that are all the same.
Yeah, I used that to figure out what the crystals needed and whatnot, so I could use that external VFO.
Yeah, I think the 700S has the 145 repeater chips in it by the factory. The original 700As only did repeaters on 146 and 147. Didn't have the 145 band in there because originally you didn't do repeaters on 145. You had to do it. There's this add-on board you had to put in there, and mine had that in it.
Mine just has, I swear it'll work anywhere. It has repeater, normal and reverse. But it'll do the split anywhere you dial it up.
I don't think it'll do it on the 144 segment. It doesn't have that extra crystal to use for the split. But yours will probably do 145. It might be a later production.
I never tried it, so I can't really dispute, but the way it seems, you know, anywhere the VFO is, you put repeater normal, repeater reverse, it's going to do the split.
Well, all that reverse does is switch your transmit and receive.
No, I realize that, whether you're, you know, well, it's, you know, positive split or negative split.
Well, that's just it. You can't do positive or negative. You do the split that's, you know, that's common. Like you go to 145 and 146, when you go to repeater, it's going to automatically go negative. And then when you go reverse, that just swaps your transmit and receive frequencies. That's so like you're listening on the input kind of thing. And then when you go to 147, it automatically goes plus. But you can't do minus on 147 and you can't do plus on 145 or 146.
I follow you. All right, yeah, okay. But I've never used the thing on repeaters anyway, so it doesn't really, I've never used it on a repeater ever.
And now you can't because it doesn't have a tone board.
Well, I could put one in it, but,
why bother. I did put one in my ICOM all mode, and so that's what I was using the Congolium to talk to you on the 06 machine.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, I remember those days when I was working down at Downingtown. Yeah, we used to... One day we were talking, and we got real political. Some guy beat up and said, what a bunch of assholes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, we were doing our thing. Nobody else was using the machine. It was early in the morning. But, yeah, I put the tone board in that ICOM just so I could use that to talk to you on the repeater. All I needed was the one tone.
Yeah. Oh, well. I think it's time to take a pause for the cause here and let some other people get in here. We're kind of monopolizing things a little here.
Yep. Let Classic Radio Roundup carry on. I'm going to go do my best to get Cantankerous for old JR, and I'll be back in memento. County, wide!
You're there to please, I know.
I swear I hear low-level background skipland noise in there.
I thought I got tips and tabs of it, you know, very, very faint. Yeah, even Bitebuster was louder than what them guys are, though. They're pretty far down.
Yeah, but it's that you know, low-level background, you know, all no voices, but, you know, that noise, skipland noise, you know, it's all together.
Oh, the weird heterodyne, I guess.
Yeah, just a noisy jumble, but you know, it's not quiet, like no background. It's that skipland noise out in the distance, or real weak, or whatever it is, but I hear it.
Wouldn't surprise me. Probably pop in later on. You never know. It's weird. I mean, even at nighttime, when everybody signs off, whatever, late at night there or whatever, you go around the band and you'll hear somebody from the island or whatever, but the rest of the band's all dead. It's kind of weird, but it happens.
Well, it is the start of the winter e-skip season, so that may be what's going on. E-skip in the dark, it happens. All right, let me go fill this drink and the wood stove, and I'll be back. County, wide.
Roger. Okay. All right, JR. Skyrider, how you doing? Not too bad. Kind of a quiet day there. I went out for a little bit today, but didn't do too much. I don't know. I take it easy. It's easy. I'm getting in the groove of doing nothing. But I'm pretty much all caught up on everything I need to do, you know? Right now I'm just wiring up a microphone, playing around with that. I really don't have nothing going on as far as projects go. But, you know, running around for the holidays and all that, you know, getting this one, that one. The wife says, hey, can you go out and get this? I'll go out and do that, but nothing major. But everything's going good. How you making out? Well, I tell you what, the All-Star tuna is giving project after project. Yesterday, the thing wasn't doing anything tuning-wise. So, now I have it sitting here with only 4 screws in the cover, while I'm getting sick and tired of taking 100,000 screws out. So, what do you know that one wire that goes off the rotary inductor there, and goes back to that little relay board, that had a cold solder joint. So, last night I was going around there trying to figure out what was going on. It was not wiggly loose, but it was just not looking good, so I resorted it, and now it works again. I don't know. For made in USA and $1,500, I was expecting better than after a half year of all the screws out of it, so that I can get in it every day. Well,
I can only make one suggestion. I'm sorry you're going through all the events to get it to go. Well, but I might have an idea to help you out with all them screws. I go put latches on it. 4 latches. Click, 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 and you're done. What do you think?
I have 4 screws in there, does it too for now. So I'll give it a couple of days, and if it keeps quiet and doing what it needs to do, then I put all the rest of them back in.
Well, yeah. But I mean, that, you know, when you were... Well, how many's in there? It's not that bad. What is it? 4, 5, 6, 7 on each side? 7 screws on each side. That's not too awfully bad.
Now, it's not like the amplifier with 24, so altogether this is only 14.
Ain't like you're changing an engine. That's right. How you doing, Rooster?
Good, good. You? Hi, Sky Rider.
How you doing, Rooster? Yeah? I will be very careful to recommend that brand of tuna in the future. Too much trouble here in the house, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I don't know. Knock on wood. I've been lucky. The only thing I did was the first thing, you know, that veneer thing. But that's it. Other than that, no, that's all good. I went over it, too. I looked at it. It looked good, but sometimes a cold solder joint, you can't really tell by looking, you know. It happens, I guess.
Yeah, roger that. I think yes, they are very close in serial number, but I think yours was put together by a different technician. You got the old guy, the experienced guys, and I got the new kids. They were just banging them out.
But that's how they learn, though.
Well, I don't know. Well, maybe you'll be all better now. You'll be done with it, you know. You won't have to... It's not going to happen for you. So, it's going to work out good for you. Yeah, have to look positive, I guess. I don't know what else to tell you. It's kind of a nuisance, though. And you're right. You pay that kind of money, you want something that's going to work. Not like, you know, something you got to keep working on. That's annoying.
So what do you do?
You got to redo a cold solder joint.
Oh, it ain't bad, I guess.
Not for that price, Rooster. If you spend that much money, you want to operate. It's like the same thing if you buy a car and off the lot, and every other day you have to get under the hood to tighten some nuts and bolts up. That's not what I'm here for. I like the hobby and I like the fiddling, but only with old stuff, not with the new stuff.
Yeah, it's all fun, you know. Take it in stride. I forget what the hell I was going to say, but... And I always figure it's easier than changing an engine in a damn car.
Oh, yeah, no, it's well, the thing is, you want to operate, you know, and when I come home, I don't have a lot of time to operate on 10 meters while the band goes dead. And that's right now the band that's humping and pumping. And if I have to fix something first every time, well, then here goes my opportunities. But hey, hopefully, like JR said, for now we're going to be good. And can put the screws back in and can operate it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, well, I had problems here for like a year or two until I got everything squared away. And it cost me quite a bit of money.
Yeah, you were telling.
What's that?
Yeah, you were telling a while ago.
I was what?
You were telling us the story a while ago.
Oh, yeah, I guess that was, I don't know, maybe 3, 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah, but you were telling, in the spring, you were telling something about the one radio you had.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. Everything works good now, though. I know I went through a lot of, probably 2, 3 years with ground issues and all that kind of stuff, and then
SWRs, bad antennas, bad coax, and bad FWR meter. What the heck?
Yeah, Roger that. There's always something bad.
It went on for like 2-3 years, man. It cost me a lot of money, I know that, but like JR said, it's all worth it now. Everything works good now.
You've done your time. I guess we all have to pay our dues.
That's for sure. Yeah, you're better off just buying the better stuff and being done with it. And trying to skip bullshit ain't worth it.
Well, that's what I thought here. I spent $1,500 on that tuna. You know, you would think I could operate it for a year before I have to put a solder iron to it.
Well, all the electronic stuff and everything's junk now. Those guys that were rebuilding them Texas Stars and the Galaxy radios, he said out there in California, he said, you just got to keep changing the parts until you get a good one.
Yeah, Roger that, yeah. Yeah, we had that too. About the same time, we had some parts to change, JR and I. But that was the easy part, you know, that was easy to troubleshoot. Things just wouldn't work, so we changed it out. And it's not that the company is not responsive, you know, I can't complain about that, but I'm just not a guy who wants to go in a new piece of equipment and wants to fiddle with it, you know.
Yeah, Texas Star amp like that. I kept sending it back, and I was talking to him. He said it was blowing up as he was trying to fix it. He would put 10 resistors or whatever in it. He says, once you get a good one, it's good, but you just got to keep changing until you get one that doesn't blow. That's something else, man.
Yeah, Roger that. Well, it is what it is. Life goes on.
He tells me that, you know, all the radios, 2, 3, 4 years, they'll probably blow up, and you got to replace them with the better parts because they put all the cheap crap in them, but I don't know. I talked to that guy out there in California pretty many times. I think he's probably retired by now.
Yeah, Roger that.
What's his handle, Rooster? They were in California. It was Mike and John. They were licensed to work on Galaxy radios and Texas Stars. I had to send to that guy to the place I bought the amp off and give me their number. Night Train has the number. He had a Texas Star too. But, you know. Yeah, I was kind of curious. Like, just wondering. I don't think they talked on the radio. I don't know who they were. I just all they know they're Californian. Talked to them probably 5-6 times though. But I gotta call them back. California is the place you ought to be, so they packed up the truck and moved to Beverly. Hills, that is. Beverly Hills. Yeah, I just got out of the cement pond. Swimming pools, movie stars. Right. Yeah, once they fixed that Texas Star, though, I had bad FWR meter at the time, and that was 1.8. I thought it was 1.2 or something. But he fixed it that it wouldn't blow up with 1.8 FWRs anymore. Yeah, that's the one you had for years now, right? You had that for a few years after he did the deal. Straightened you up. Yeah. Then I was doing something and I forgot to hook the coax up after it and I blew it up. Oh, man, that was a hell of a bummer. I'll tell you.
Mayday.
What's that?
Okay, Skyrider, we'll catch you later. Have a good one. Get yourself some shut-eye. Yeah, you don't want to be walking around like a zombie. We'll catch you later. Take care. Yeah, I got up early this morning. I was at work really early, and I worked till about 8 o'clock tonight. So I'll have to get somewhere on a sofa or something. Hey, you guys have a good night, and everybody in there, nice talking to you guys.
Good night, Skyrider. Catch you later, Skyrider. Good hearing you again. See you, Skyrider.
Danny got quiet.
Oh, man.
Yep. Whoops, double.
Joker, how you doing, Joker?
Good, man. Bunch of new voices since I walked out of the room.
Yeah, sometimes you walk out, you don't come back.
Joker.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of work lately. So I've been coming in, then I go down to the studio, and then I walk out of there about really late. Good evening there, Rooster.
JR, didn't we have a question for Joker about audio or something that came up the other night?
I think it was about a mixing board or something with more than one output, or more than two outputs or something like that.
Yeah, or was it an audio amplification distributor or something along those lines? We want one input and two outputs.
One input and two output of audio?
Yeah, like basically one microphone that you could go to all left channels or all right channels, like kind of selectively.
Well, I was gonna say you need just a simple. If it's not a condenser microphone, if you're talking a dynamic, you just need a basic, simple 2-channel mixer.
Yeah, well, I'm using a condenser microphone, so I need phantom power. What the hell did Dave call it? He called it something that he said. Let me look back through his text. Hang on.
You need plus 48 volts.
Yeah, one mic and then two outputs.
Yeah, an audio distribution amp. Does that sound right?
That might just be a different term somebody's using for a preamp.
Well, no, because a preamp, I have a preamp, and it's one goes into and one comes out of. He's saying an audio distribution amp is one goes into and up to 10 goes out of.
Well, I was going to say, when you're talking preamps, there's so many different kinds of preamps. There's multi-channel preamps. So, I was going to say, it's just, I was just going to say, it's just a mixer. Unless you can send me like a video or a picture of what he's talking about.
I thought a mixer was multiple gazintas and one comes out of. But you're saying that you can have multiple gazatas as well as gazintas?
Yeah, on mixing boards, primarily, just say a basic one, you'll have multi-inputs where you'll have the sliders or the knobs, let's say, to adjust input gain, output gain. And then you have a master, which goes to the stereo left or right or just mono out. And then there's a lot of mixing boards that have sends. So you have multiple sends out of different channels that you can throw each microphone or whatnot. And then you have like a lot of my basic mixing boards just has a monitor channel. So that's a separate out, but each input has an adjustment for that.
Yeah, so it sounds like there's like more than one choice to kind of do what we're looking to do.
There's so many different choices. But since you're running a condenser, you're going to have to put that microphone in after your preamp.
Well, the preamp that I'm currently running has phantom power in it.
Right, so if you want to mix that signal, if you want to put that microphone and another microphone into a passive mixer that does not have phantom, then you're going to have to plug that one in from the output of that preamp that you're running into right now.
Yeah, well, basically what I'm looking to do is, alright, so So I have a left and right channel on my EQ. I got a left and right channel on my processor, and a left and right channel on my limiter. What I want to do is use the one microphone, and I want to take all the left channels, say, and put it into one transmitter, and all the right channels, say, and put it into another transmitter. But I want to be able to choose which channel I want that microphone to go into.
Yeah, you just need a basic little mixer that has, if it stays true stereo, yeah, you could use a stereo out mixer and do pan left, pan right, depending on what output you wanted to go out of.
Yeah, okay, so that's probably what I want is a stereo mixer, and I guess it wouldn't matter, you know, it would just all come down to which transmitter came on, you know, like even if it went to both channels at the same time, it would only go out to whatever transmitter is on. So that sounds like what I want is a stereo output mixer then, I guess would do the job.
Yeah, that would send whatever you have plugged in the input side of the mixer out to both left and right.
Yeah, but I really only want to use left or right one at a time in mono. But I guess it wouldn't matter if it went through both if it's just one channel hooked up to this transmitter and that channel's hooked up to the other transmitter, just have the other transmitter off. So I think that am I going right, barking up the right tree?
Yeah, you know, it's not like it's not like you're throwing a ton of you know, it's not like you're on a power amp or something where you're throwing wattage into something. You're just throwing line level. So having a transmitter off it's not gonna do anything to it, or it shouldn't do anything to it. You know, you're just throwing line level to it.
Yeah, this is all line level. All right, so I know what tree I need to bark up then. So basically, you know, a decent stereo mixer.
Yeah, I know Pyle makes a bunch of small little mixers. Behringer makes a bunch of small little mixers. I mean, there's so many different little ones out there anymore that you can look into. But yeah, if it's stereo, or even if it isn't stereo, sometimes I have a little Behringer mixer that's just a emergency backup that has a control room out, so it's like you know, you can adjust that output too, which is separate from the, you know, the main output that you'd go to your amplifier.
Yeah, you know, a little while ago I was browsing mixers on Amazon, and there's all different kinds, but I've seen those have the phantom power too, so I could do away with this preamp and use the phantom power in the mixer, and then the two outputs in the mixer to go to left and right channel and do what I want to do then, so I could eliminate this preamp in the process. But I was looking for something with 4 outputs.
Yeah, you're not going to get a small footprint mixer with 4 outputs unless you got to start going into medium and larger format mixing boards.
Alright, well, that's what I wanted to know. Yeah, I knew what he was saying, Pete. I knew we could do that for two units, yeah, but I was looking for a little bit more. I think all I need is two channel kind of setup, so I can use the one mic and all the audio processing gear on 2 different transmitters. Yeah, you're easy. It's not what she said. Oh, no. What did she say? Oh, you're not there yet. You don't want me to tell you what she said. I think Mrs. Train would disapprove. I don't think she's listening right now. Whether she is or she isn't, she would disapprove. Alright, so I think I know what I need to look for anyway. You know, I mean, it's hard to, when you start getting swamped with this stuff and you really aren't certain what you're looking for, it can get kind of overwhelming.
No, yeah, I mean, there's so many different options to do. There's so many options out there.
nice if, see, I gotta do some flipping around here when I change transmitters and using the same audio gear. And it'd be nice to set up, you know, all my left channels for one transmitter and all my right channels for the other transmitter, and, you know, be able to do that without flipping things around and pulling cables and all that nonsense.
Oh, I'm getting feedback all of a sudden. Give me a second.
Oh, man!
That's right. You want to, you know, be nice to be able to adjust it for one channel one, adjust it for channel two, and just flip a switch between 4 different stations, but they're all preset. That's what you're after. That's what I'm after.
Yeah. I'm after it for 2 radios, and you're after it for more than 2. But we're looking to do the same thing.
Yep, you got it. You got it, by golly.
I mean, it's kind of nice with my EQ that I could turn one channel on and one channel off, and, you know, vice versa. So I could set up each channel the EQ for the different transmitters, but then the issue comes into my processor and my limiter. I can't do that. I would rather just set up each channel for differently, but currently I can't.
Yeah, you probably got a lot more than what you need, actually.
That's not a true statement for any amateur radio operator.
Oh, I like simple. I like simple, but yeah, okay, that's fine.
Well, I don't think mine's complicated. I think it's simple. You know, there's only 3 pieces of gear: the EQ, the limiter, and the processor.
That's not true. See, you're lying again.
What am I lying about?
Forgot your reverb, the wire, the spring thing.
Oh, well, I don't really count that. That's just a toy that happens to be in line.
See how you are? Listen, you gotta be more specific when you talk about this stuff. You can't forget about a piece here and a piece there. That don't work.
That wasn't a lie. That was just, you know, not thinking about it. That's just being, you know, empty-headed.
All right, we'll go with that.
I don't really count that because, you know, that's not normally used. That's all I do a noise sandbagger.
Oh, well, I'm not listening to it.
Oh, you listen to it when I have it on.
Yeah. But that's, you know, half the time I'm not on 160 either.
That's not where I use it. I use it on 11 meters to drive you crazy.
Say that. He's not lying to you there.
But I did use it on 10 meters, Sunday night, Monday night, whenever we were on, I did use it for a minute. I actually do use that when I'm DXing on the Yaesu at 10 meters. I'll throw in just that little touch of reverb, and I get nothing but, boy, that sounds wonderful. But it's just that little extra, you know, depth kind of reverb, not the charger kind of reverb.
Yeah, that's what you want. You just want a touchy, just a touchy.
And I do that when I'm operating on 10 meters. I'll throw just a touchy in there that I can just detect it in my headphones. Just gives that nice extra depth to your audio. It really kind of works.
It does. I think so.
That's why it's been used for decades. Man, I don't know why I'm getting feedback all of a sudden.
Yeah,
You're pretty obnoxious tonight there, Joker.
yeah, you're having all kinds of issues over there.
Wow.
Yeah, here's the guy we're asking for audio advice that can't keep the squeal out of his audio.
That's because CB is a completely different thing.
Well, I'm not going to argue that. But yeah, radio in general is a different thing than studio audio. But what you know in one will help you in the other.
You know what's weird? I was holding my phone again. Maybe that. I think last time I was talking, I was getting squeal. I was holding my phone. I don't know. I mean, I'm not used to CB radios with its limited bandwidth.
with enough incentive.
Yeah, because when I was messing with that, a couple of my things I brought up into here, what you guys were giving me in feedback of what it sounded like, I was adjusting it in here, and I'm like, man, that just is not making sense real world to me with what I'm used to.
Well, because you're probably overcompensating for the lack of bandwidth.
Yeah, I swept a couple of my transmitters here with an audio generator, and it's kind of an eye-opener when you do that. You see it on the oscilloscope, what passes and when it starts to not pass, and then when it doesn't pass at all.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Pretty interesting when you can see it on the scope, because you can see the amplitude of it.
Yes, you can.
And you can see right where the cutoff is and how sharp or how soft it rolls off. And that DYY does pass some audio.
Well, I would hope it would. That's the whole idea.
I've seen that thing pass down at 20 hertz to 25 hertz.
That's pretty damn good. That's actually even better than my Washington, because my Washington goes down to about 40.
Yeah, right around 25 hertz or so, and I think it was over 4K somewhere. I forget where, but it was over 4K.
My Washington, I stopped at 10K.
Yeah, maybe it was higher than that. Well, I don't even think my EQ goes up that high.
Yeah, the Washington is scary. It just keeps going.
10K? You can't even hear 10K.
No, but you can see it on the adjacent channel.
Yeah, my EQ goes up to 20K. And I think it was somewhere above 12.5, and it started at the 16K, didn't really do anything.
I put a 10 kilohertz signal into the Washington, and I could go up a channel, and I could see it as a subcarrier on the. It shows up as a carrier on the adjacent channel.
That's ridiculous.
I sent you a video of your squeaking chair.
Well, see, there's mixed. Maybe I should do a YouTube poll, because there's mixed votes about the squeaky chair.
Well, there ain't no mixed thoughts on it. I just wanted to let you know what you sounded like. I said I would do that video for you. You wanted to hear your radio, so there you go.
County-wide radio. Well, unless FedEx.
Don't come up there with some Vaseline and grease.
Yeah, well, I got a grease gun in return for them. And I'm going to shove it where they're not going to like it.
Oh, no. He's getting there.
Well, at least it's greased up, I guess, right?
Oh, I'll grease you up and I'll pressurize you.
Rooster.
Yeah.
You got the birdie on there, huh? Good deal. I got your Night Eagle one. I just got done wiring it up. I gotta use these guys once in a while. I don't want them to go bad.
Oh, yeah, what are you running that on?
That's, 129.50.
Oh, yeah, it sounds good here on this radio. Below 95, it gives you a better report, but it sounds good here.
That's all right. It's working. I see it on the meter. I don't particularly care. I don't have to be real picky on the sound. I just want to use it once in a while. So it don't sit there and rot, as they say. okay? Sounds good, too, by the way. You should run that on classic radio roundup. Yeah. Listen, guys all perk their ears up with that there beep.
I almost ran my Browning tonight.
Yeah, we don't hear enough Brownings on for as many that are in the area.
Now, wait a minute. You know what? You know what would happen? If everybody got the Brown, like Train, Dave, and Rooster, it would drive me nuts. I would turn my radio off, because one be pinging, the other be pinging. Oh, my God.
Yeah, you're right about that. It does get annoying after a while.
Too much pinging.
Too much of a good thing.
Oh, man, it'd be one after other, and then they all key up on, and then you no longer it's a ping, it's more of a ding.
Yeah, and then I'll do my fake Browning ping over here and join in.
You'd be plucking your spring.
Yeah, I've done that. I put my big fat capacitor on the mute line on my National, and I can make it sound just like the Browning. I've done it. It's on a video gate. Check the history.
Yeah. The video gate tells all.
I fooled people and they thought I was on a Browning. Nope. Parker Williamson.
Old BW.
This don't have, it ain't too much modulation, is it?
I don't think so.
Sounds good.
I talked to a guy on 10 meters AM the other day. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. He was up in North Dakota, eh? And boy, he sounded like he was from Minnesota. You know, he had that kind of accent up there in North Dakota, you know. And he said he had a Parker Williamson 5100. And then hearing mine, he says, I gotta get mine on the air. I said, will you do that so we can work each other? Because I've only ever worked like a couple other B&Ws on the air, like on the entire HF band where I play. One in Florida and one up in Massachusetts, I think it was, on 40 meters. But, like I don't hear them on the air. People know what they are, or had one, but man, I don't talk to nobody else has one on the air.
Well, yeah, they are kind of rare, and they only appeal to a certain kind of people, you know, so, yeah, you'd have to run across them in the little circles of AMers out there.
Well, if I gave him the incentive to get his up and running again, well, that'd be a good thing, but, you know, that was kind of fun talking, you know, I don't normally, I'm in here when the band runs out to the west. And having North Dakota in there was pretty cool because, you know, how often do you talk to somebody in North Dakota?
Yeah, don't you know?
That's not an everyday occurrence, I'll tell you that.
I was talking to Oklahoma today in my mobile.
Yeah, Oklahoma, that's common. North Dakota, not so much. But, yeah, he definitely had that accent going on. I was laughing. It sounded like I was watching that TV show Fargo.
Yeah, for me to talk to North Dakota, it took me a while so I could talk there. Yeah, it's an upper Midwest accent. I never got Wyoming and South Dakota yet.
Yeah, I've got Wyoming. That's not too common either. South Dakota is a little more common than North Dakota. North Dakota is kind of rare.
And Idaho, it took me a while, and Montana took me a while.
You can turn that down a little bit there, Rooster.
Yeah, he sounds like you turned it up.
Yeah, you're getting obnoxious.
Almost hard to understand at that point. You were good, but you did something. You changed something that got louder.
Well, I don't know where it was there. Turn it back one notch under 12.
Turn it back a little bit more.
Turn it down to 10.
There you go.
Okay, right there is 10.
There you go, by golly.
I know sometimes when I key up, I swing my arm around. I probably hit that sometimes.
Yeah, that wouldn't go
no more than 10 o'clock, because it's still plenty loud.
Uh-oh, did I just hear a foreign voice in there?
Yeah, I get them. I do hear Skipland noise in there all night in the background. Okay, there's 9.
We told you to leave it at 10. Now why you gotta go 9?
Because Pete said it was still a little too much. No, I didn't. No, I said what I said was 10 o'clock is good, but you don't want no more. Okay, sorry about that. There it's at 10 o'clock. You can always go a little less, but don't go any more. That's it.
Anyway, it's about that time to say goodnight. Another fun classic radio roundup in the can. And we'll do it again next time.
All right, Bagger. Well, good night, and thanks for the fun on Classic Radio Roundup, and thanks again for fixing up my Centurion PLL. County-wide radio. See you later, Bagger. Take care.
Yeah, and that thing is sounded good, Pete. That's a keeper. That it is. That it is. All right, Dave. Take care. Have a good evening there. Catch you next time. And he's right. That is a keeper.
Oh, yeah. It's a keeper. It's train approved, too. Like, well, maybe not the audio. It might be too loud for his taste, but aesthetically and cosmetically, yeah, it's a keeper. It's in good shape.
You listen to your video yet?
No, not yet. I'll wait till this is all done.
Oh, come on. Now you get to hear it and you know what it sounds like.
I know what it sounds like. I talked to Dave on it last week when he had it.
Oh, okay. So he recorded you?
No, it was at his house, and I was over here, and I heard it.
No, but you didn't hear it with your voice yet, meatball.
My voice. I don't want to hear my own voice. My own voice is Meatball Bandit.
I wonder where he been, actually. Thinking about him.
Meatball Bandit's been in here, I think, last week. He was in, I think. Yeah, I haven't heard him in a while.
I think that was 2 weeks ago, to be honest with you.
Might have been, but it hasn't been forever. But he's not in, he doesn't seem to be in as often as he used to be.
Well, he must be a busy fella. That's all I can say. Yeah, you know. And the other ones weren't in here either tonight, come to think of it.
No, but, Whitebuster was in here good and loud for a while tonight, and he got his share of airtime more than usual. Night Train.
Well, he's a mud duck. Yeah, to me, I can't hear him. I shouldn't say he's a mud duck. He's just on the opposite side of the world to me. I knew he was in there, and I could sometimes make out what he was saying, but, he needs another 100 watts.
He was giving me a S4 tonight, totally in the clear, no problem. But yeah, like 123 is missing, Goose is missing. I know there's some other missing players. Red Baron didn't check in with us tonight, so there's some characters missing tonight. At least we got a check in from Wayne, the Renegade.
That's right, I did hear him in there. And hello there, Renegade. Good evening. I forgot to say hello to you, but I was working on something, so my bad.
Hello, KR. Yeah, I'm still in here listening.
That's a Roger. That's a good thing. Yeah, so anyway, I found there were some settings on my phone that I had to open up, and I didn't know what they were, and I Googled it and researched it, and I finally found out what the deal was. But if you ask me what it was, I can't tell you, because I don't remember.
Well, you got further along in that than I ever would have, because if it works, then I don't see any point in messing with it. And it seems to work.
Yeah, but I think some of the videos you gave me were kind of like, they want to, I don't know, whatever. But it could have been on my end, or it could have been on, I
don't know, but it seems to be working. I sent some big ones out today, just to see, and it didn't care what size it was, so that's a plus for me.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing how well that comes through on mine. I will check it out. So I don't remember. Do you got an iPhone or you got one of them other phones?
one of the other phones. I got an Android. It's actually it's an Android phone.
Well, I think that's kind of part of the problem with videos. Like iPhone to iPhone, I guess it works. But if you go iPhone to one of the other phones or one of the others to one of the others, that's where things get messed up.
Yeah, I don't know. Dave, 5 on 7, he sends me, and I get his nice. I mean, he does the high definition and all that. But I go to send him, and it comes back and, won't send. You have to convert it over to MFS. When you do that, they turn into crap, so I don't bother doing it. So I had to get into some settings there, but anyway, I figured it out. It's raring to go, so that's the way it should be. I don't know why they would have it the other way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's got an iPhone, and he sends me stuff, I send him stuff, and it's never an issue. It is what it is. Well, he always says, well, the fact that you're using, whatever speaker in the iPhone or the microphone, whatever, you don't know what the bandwidth is on that, and the bandwidth was, he's super critical about it. Well, it's not a true representation, and blah, blah. Like, yeah, I realize that, but you still get an idea. Yeah, but it's too narrow, and, the microphone is not flat, and all this other stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's a given. It's a freaking phone to a phone of a recording on a speaker, but it's not going to be really what it is, but you still kind of get an idea. Well, yeah, you get an idea, but it's not a real thing. I'm like, yeah, I know. You know how deep it is.
Listen, I don't know. I do. And it's not. So what is actually on the computer, online on your computer? Well, even that, you don't know what that. But I agree with you. You can tell. You can tell on the phone. You can compare. That's why I like to do multi-voices. You know what I mean? Like Dave was in there and you were in there, so I left you. I compared you with him. But so you get an idea, and you can go from there. I have recordings of Dave. Well, Dave, man, sounds fantastic. Down there on 160, and it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I'm not that critical of an ear anyway. Besides, a man of my age, I can't be that critical.
Yeah, I'm more with you in the assessment. But I mean, if you really want to get a true thing going on, you got to do what Billy's doing. It's a direct feed into his computer, recording and all that. Or like I used to do when I had the Kenwood hooked up to the computer, and I was making those recordings, and then I was able to play them back off the computer right out the radio, and I could fool people into thinking, they were talking to the real person when it was Memorex and all that. So there's good, what we're doing, you get a representation, and then there's the next level, like Billy's doing or I was able to do in the past. I get the difference, but even the cheesy way still gives you an idea.
Well, I got to question the computer thing too, even though he's doing all his footwork with the equipment that he has, and he's going into his computer. Okay, so what's the computer capability of all that? I guess he has software on. I don't know. I mean, where do you draw the line? Then his sound system too. The speakers and all that. I don't know. There's more to it than just saying, hey, I'm doing it this way. This is better. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know, but I have questions about all that.
Well, on Billy's method and the method that I did in the past, there was no speakers involved. It was to directly recording off the received audio of the radio and putting it onto the hard drive. So the limitations were your sound card, basically. But they're not really limited. They're pretty wide, and you can set that all up with software. So I guess the thing is, that's about almost the truest representation that you can get. Now the playback,
you know, it comes into play with the speakers that you're using and the system that you're using to play it back. But as far as his recording or the way that I was doing recording, that's almost as true as you can get. You know, it's like a studio recording. You know, I would record on my hard drive from that Kenwood directly to the hard drive from the radio, and it would come directly out of the sound card into the transmitter. And I had people fooled thinking they were talking to somebody, that they were talking to a recording I had.
I get all that. I mean, I understand that. But even the file, back to Billy, your file itself, it may be in true form, you know. It could very well be in true form. But how...